You've probably heard those wild, larger-than-life stories. Some regular Joe walks into a casino with 50 bucks, and a few hours later he's strolling out with 50 grand, a legend whispered about in every bar and back alley. Every time one of these headlines pops up, someone's eyes light up, thinking, that could be me. But the truth? For every rags to riches tale, there are countless others who've lost their shirts, their dreams shattered, their lives dragged into the gutter. Can gambling really make you rich? Or is it just a dazzling mirage, luring you step by step into the abyss? Picture yourself at a Vegas card table, the lights dim and smoky, the air thick with the scent of tobacco and booze, your hands clutching a stack of chips, heart pounding like a war drum. The dealer tosses you 2 cards, a king and an ace. The guy across from you twitches, another's eyes flicker. You feel it, the moment's yours. Royal flush? Or at least a hand that'll crush the table. A rush of adrenaline hits. You clench your jaw, shove a pile of chips forward, and growl, all in. For that split second, you're one step from changing your fate. The world seems to freeze. Just you, the table, and that shot at a life-altering win. But reality? More often than not, you watch the dealer sweep your chips away, leaving you with cold sweat and a nagging, if only I hadn't, echoing in your head. I'm not here to rain on your parade. Gambling has its pull, that adrenaline spike, that thrill few can fully resist. Win, and you feel like the chosen one. Lose, and you tell yourself, next time, I've got this. But today, we're ripping off the veil to talk about the ugly truth of gambling. No feel-good platitudes, no sermons. Just the raw, unfiltered reality I've pieced together from years at card tables, in casinos, and from the gut-wrenching stories of broke gambler friends. Let's start with the hard stuff, math. Casinos aren't charities. Every game has a built-in edge called the house advantage. Whether you're playing blackjack, baccarat, slots, or craps, the long game always favors the house. How? Through carefully crafted odds. Take blackjack. If you play like a computer, following perfect strategy and memorizing every optimal move, you can shave the house edge down to 0.5%. Sounds tempting, right? Hold up. That 0.5% is based on millions of hands. Play a few dozen rounds in a night, and you're nowhere near evening out those odds. Short-term swings can toss you around like a roller coaster. Slots are even worse, with house edges typically between 4% and 15%. For every $100 you bet, you're losing $4 to $15 on average. Those flashing screens, cheery sound effects, and so close moments, they're all engineered traps. Every time you see 2 jackpot symbols with a blank in between, your brain screams, almost, and dopamine kicks in, nudging you to drop another coin. But math is just the tip of the iceberg. What really hooks gamblers is psychology. Why do people keep diving in, knowing the odds are stacked against them? Because our brains are wired to chase patterns. You convince yourself you've cracked the code on a hot slot machine or a lucky table. You hear about some guy, say Jack the cab driver, who turned $100 into a car, or Sarah, the college kid who paid off her tuition with 1 poker hand. Those stories are so vivid. They play like movie reels in your mind, drowning out the quiet truth of countless others who went bust. This is called availability bias. We overhype the memorable wins and ignore the mundane losers. Then there's the deadlier trap, sunk cost. You're 2 hours in, down $500. Walking away feels like admitting defeat, like flushing your time and money down the drain. So you tell yourself, one more hand, I'll break even and bounce. One hand becomes 10, and $500 turns into a $5,000 hole. The deeper you sink, the further you stray from reason. Casinos know this. They ply you with free drinks, lavish buffets, even the glory of poker tournaments, making you feel like a VIP while your judgment gets sanded down. The dazzling lights, the dealer's sweet smile, the we're all in this together vibe at the table. It's all pushing you toward the edge. Sure, some people do win. I know a guy, Tom, a pro poker player who makes a living at high-stakes cash tables. He's not banking on luck but on bankroll, discipline, and brains. Card counting? He tracks every card dealt in blackjack down to the probabilities. Sports betting? He studies team injuries, strategies, even referee biases like a data analyst. But even he says pro gambling is a grind. You need a hefty bankroll, hundreds of thousands, to weather the losses. You need discipline to analyze data daily, keep emotions in check, and not lose your head after a bad streak. And you need skill. Card counting can get you blacklisted, sports betting requires obsessive research, and poker demands surviving months of losses. Tom's seen plenty try to go pro and end up unable to pay rent. As for those $50 to $50,000 stories, they're almost always dumb luck. Maybe a progressive slots jackpot was ripe, and someone hit the right spin. Luck, not skill. I've heard crazier tales like Richard, a Vegas whale, who lost millions but kept coming back, grinning, because he was sure next time he'd win. These stories scream one thing: short term, anything can happen. Long term, the house always wins. Don't forget the costs. In the US, gambling winnings are taxable. Hit a jackpot and the IRS slaps you with a W-2G form, carving out a chunk of your prize. Those free dinners, hotel stays, perks? The casinos already factored them into your losses, recouping every penny and more. You think you're getting a deal, but you're just stuck at the table longer. Add up taxes, travel, lodging, and that tax-free jackpot dream often turns into a net loss. Why do people still dive in knowing all this? The allure of the unknown is too strong. The thrill of risk too intoxicating. Casinos are marketing geniuses, making you feel like the star of the show. Opulent decor, red carpet treatment, jackpot fantasies. They're selling you a ticket to escape reality. Win, and you're invincible. Lose, and it's next time. But how many next times can your wallet take? I'm not saying gambling's all bad. It can be a fun night out, a wild adventure with friends. But you need ironclad discipline. Set a budget, treat losses like buying a theme park ticket, and walk away when it's gone. If you're chasing riches, wake up. The casino always holds the cards. Instead of betting on luck, build real skills, start a business, invest, learn a trade. Those come with risks, but you can learn, adapt, control them. Gambling? It's a rigged game and you're just a pawn. Let me tell you about my buddy Mike, a former gambler hooked on baccarat, convinced he could read the shoe and strike it rich. He'd spend hours in casinos, scribbling red and blue dots in a notebook, certain he was one step from cracking the code. 3 years later, he'd lost his savings, mortgaged his house, and his girlfriend left him. He couldn't even afford the bus to the casino. He told me he felt possessed, always believing the next hand would save him. Each next hand was a deeper hole. Mike's clean now, runs a small diner, living steady. He says gambling's worst trick isn't the money. It's making you think you control fate when you can't even control yourself. How do casinos operate? Most think the big money's at the tables, but the real cash cow is slots. Why? They're simple, fast, and the house edge is brutal. A slot machine can spin thousands of times a day, each tiny edge adding up to obscene profits. Tables are flashier, but skilled players can chip away at the house edge, like blackjack card counters. So casinos watch tables like hawks. Cameras, dealers, floor managers, all sniffing for cheaters. I know a counter, Eddie, who made hundreds of thousands in the 90s, only to get blacklisted by multiple casinos. He can't even step foot in Vegas airports without getting eyed. He says counting isn't glamorous. It's grueling math and high-stakes mind games most can't handle. Casinos also master player experience. They know losing makes you irrational, so they make losing feel good. Free drinks loosen you up. Buffets make you feel like a winner. VIP cards stroke your ego. Even the casino's design is a psychological trap. No clocks, no windows, a maze-like layout that erases time, making you forget day from night, just keep playing. I once spent 3 days in Vegas, only realizing it was Monday when I stepped outside, job forgotten, wallet empty. Casinos are giant mousetraps. Cheese on top, deadly springs below. Let's dig into gambling's history. It's not new, thousands of years old. Romans rolled dice, ancient Chinese played card games, and by the 19th century, Mississippi riverboats were gambler havens. Back then, just like now, people chased overnight fortunes, losing everything and sometimes jumping overboard or settling scores with pistols. In the 20th century, Vegas rose from desert dust, fueled by mob money and big capital. In the 50s, Benny Binion opened the first modern casino, launching poker tournaments that turned gambling into a global industry. But the core never changed. Casinos sell hope, pocket your cash. Speaking of tournaments, take Chris, a 90s poker legend. He went from accountant to World Series of Poker champ, pocketing millions. His story was hyped to the heavens. inspiring countless others to dive into poker. But no one talks about his later years. Failed investments, divorce, burning through his winnings, chasing past glory at the tables, only to lose more. His tale is a warning. A short-term win doesn't make you a long-term winner. Then there's the gambler's fallacy. Say you lose 10 spins on red at roulette, you're convinced blacks do. But odds don't owe you. Each spin is independent. People double down when they're losing, thinking luck's gotta turn. It doesn't. I knew a guy, Steve, who dropped $20,000 on roulette, swearing red couldn't hit 15 times in a row. That night, it hit 16. He nearly smashed the table. Casinos also exploit your social instincts. The table's vibe, the dealer's grin, the cheers from other players. It feels like a party. You don't want to be the buzzkill, so you play another round, sip another drink, get fuzzier. Some casinos even plant shills, fake players who act like they're winning big, shouting, "What a night," to make you think it's your turn. By the time you catch on, your money's gone. Online gambling's another beast. Apps are slicker than physical casinos, always a tap away, promising bonuses, free spins, leaderboards screaming, "Win big." But their house edge is often worse, with algorithms nobody oversees. You're not playing a computer, you're up against a black box rigged to bleed you dry. My friend Lisa got hooked on online slots, thinking they were easier than Vegas. She lost $50,000 before realizing the random results weren't random at all. The platform was built to let you win just enough to keep going. Took her 2 years to clear her credit card debt. Then there's James, a middle-class guy with a house, car, happy life, until he got into sports betting. He thought he could outsmart the odds, spending months analyzing game stats, player injuries, even weather. At first, he won a few bets, made $10,000, felt like a genius. Then he chased bigger payouts, lost once, tried to recover, and 6 months later, his $200,000 savings were gone. Car sold, marriage over. His story shows gambling's cruelest lie. It makes you think you're in control when you're just dancing with chance. Casinos' backroom tricks are slick too. Ever wonder why they're so lavish? Marble floors, chandeliers, 24/7 buffets. It's not for your comfort. It's to make you feel the price is worth it. Lose $500 at the table but get a free lobster dinner and a 5-star room? You think you broke even. Nope. They've calculated every free perk to keep you betting, earning it all back and more. They even tailor coupons to your habits. Love slots? Here's free spins. Poker? An exclusive tournament invite. All to keep you in the game. There's also the player tracking system. Big casinos' loyalty cards log every bet. What you play, how much you wager, your wins and losses. They analyze your value to decide your perks. Big spender? You get a personal host, private jet tickets, maybe a glamorous dealer. Card counter or consistent winner. They'll politely show you the door or blacklist you. My friend Dan, a small-time card counter, won $100,000 in Atlantic City. Next day, he was escorted out for a system error. His name's on blacklists now, watched everywhere he goes. Gambling's hidden cost is time. An hour at the table isn't just money. It's time you could have spent working, learning, or with family. Crunch the numbers. 10 hours a week in a casino is 520 hours a year, or 13 full work weeks. Invest that in a skill or side hustle, and the payoff could dwarf any casino win. But casinos don't let you think about that. Lights, music, free coffee. They glue you to the seat, making you forget life outside. Historically, take Bugsy Siegel, a Vegas pioneer. In the 40s, he built the Flamingo, kicking off the city's glitzy era. But his mob debts got him killed in his own living room. His story sums up gambling's underbelly. Glamour on top, blood and scheming below. Modern casinos are less violent but just as ruthless. They sell dreams, take lives. Culturally, gambling's often romanticized. Movies like Casino show Robert De Niro as a suave casino boss. 007 has Bond-winning cash and charm at the tables. These images paint gambling as classy, a winner's game. Reality, it's not dapper bonds but tired, desperate folks betting their last dollar. Media hypes the allure, never showing the homeless ex-gambler. Then there's the social cost. Gambling generates billions in the US, but it also fuels bankruptcies, divorces, even crime. Studies say 2 to 5% of gamblers become problem gamblers, not a huge number, but the ripple effect is massive. One addict can tank a family. I knew Emily, whose husband blew their kids' college fund on slots, then stole her credit card to keep going. She divorced him, raised the kids alone, took years to recover. These stories play out daily in gambling towns. If you still want to gamble, I won't stop you. But follow some iron rules. First, set a budget, bring only what you can lose, and when it's gone, leave. Second, don't buy into hot machines or lucky tables. It's all in your head. Third, don't chase sunk costs. Losing doesn't mean you're due to win. Fourth, treat gambling as entertainment, not a get-rich scheme. Fifth, and most critical, never borrow to bet. I've seen too many lose everything, even their lives, to loan sharks. In the end, gambling's a game of odds, and the odds are always with the house. Enjoy the thrill, but don't expect it to change your life. Instead of tossing cash on the table, invest in yourself, learn a trade, start a business, save for a house. Those take time but pay off in ways you control. The casino is always the smiling dealer, and you're just passing through.